Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of January the 12th, 2024. The Alita Fallen Angel plot will be fantastic, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host of Muskogee Creek, and with me is my co-host, and he would be Angelus from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. How's it going, Angelus?
It's going great because today is a good day to fight for Alita sequels.
You betcha
Always
it
a good
is.
day for that.
Yeah, it is. Oh, we got as many people on the stream as we do in the chat, which is okay. Hey, Mathieu, how's it going? Mathieu from France.
Bonsoir tout le monde. It's doing great.
Cool. Yeah, bonsoir. Yeah, that's right. And from Fountain, Colorado, we have Lee. How's it going, Lee?
Hey, going pretty good.
Cool. And I think we got someone here from the Shires in the UK, Vladi.
Shires, indeed. Just trying to hide from Isengard.
Okay.
It's a funny way.
That's why everyone moves to the Shires. We're all trying to escape Isengard.
To get away from Sauron, right?
Get away from the cities, yeah. For God's sake, get away.
Name's Bob Iger, damn
it. Yeah. And from Arvada, Colorado, we have
the Eye of Iger.
Yeah, thanks, Freak. So, yeah, I kept up my New Year's tradition for watching Alita Battle Angel at midnight. So that tradition has continued since I first saw Alita in 2019.
Yeah, we got to get that. Perfect. We got to watch Alita on the old IMAX here in the near future. I've been kind of really busy. I've been teaching a couple of classes and just kind of getting by some family stuff. So anyway, but we're going to do it. We are definitely going to do it. And from Mentor, Ohio, we have Chaos Nova. Sorry about that, Chaos. Almost called you somebody else. You there, Chaos? I think you might be muted.
He's probably experiencing that very chaos.
Yes. Yeah, he might have some kids there that are wanting to participate. So maybe he's doing that, you know. Okay, so anyway,
Alita doesn't have to worry about that.
That's right. Anybody got anything to report?
No, unfortunately, no new Alita news. Looks like tomorrow will probably be the same.
Dead silence.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to do the news here. We want to save that for Radio Chaos, but yeah.
Spoiler alert, there is no news.
Uh-oh. Well, I bet Angelus will come up with something.
We've got that poll, that random poll.
Yeah.
From that, what is it, Angelic? It's suspicious. Did you set that site up, Angelus? What's the site called again? It's like
it was from a UK source, so it must be
Angelic.
Angelic
It wasn't me, I promise.
Angelic Scorn.
Well, we're killing that poll, whoever made it.
Yeah. Man, I know Angelus put that in the DM for me, and he said, you got work to do or something like that. Man, I posted that on every single social media outlet I have. So it kind of, I think, maybe that helped a little bit, I think. So
plus she's just a badass female character. People love her.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's, every single nanobot helps. Just inject a little bit of Alita lore into the live stream.
Yes.
I'm terrified of nanobots.
All right.
They could be everywhere already.
Could be. Hey, Chaos, you finally got your mic working?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. Yeah, I saw one of those, I guess, streams you did for Martian Memory. I really liked it. That's pretty cool. I was thinking when you were playing that game, those, I guess what they call them, those nanobot monsters or whatever them things are, those trees.
They're people that got berserker
Yeah.
cell infected.
Yeah, berserker beasts. That's what they call them. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was cool. Those trees are pretty awesome. So anyway, that was a lot of fun watching that. Okay, I guess we can just move on here. I would just want to remind everybody to sign the petition if you haven't done that. There is a link down in the description below the screen here if you want to go check that out. I am so sure that just about everybody on this stream has and everybody, not only on the panel, but everybody in the chats probably already have signed it. But if you have not, please click on it, sign it, and you future people that are going to, any of you that do watch this stream, also sign the petition. Wouldn't it be wonderful, Vladi, if Bob Iger watched the stream and he said, "Oh, I think I'll sign the petition."
He'll be like, "Let's send a virus to change.org. Take that site down, damn it."
Yeah, that's right.
That's more likely to be his response.
All right,
Yeah.
hang on just a sec. Oh, share screen. All right. So we're all biased towards Alita naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally,
sorry, Alita is objectively the best. So
yeah, and but for me personally,
that's why we're biased. Is what I'm saying.
I love like quite a lot of things retro, like whether it be gaming, music, movies, even. I mean, Alita's anime came out in 1993, so that was 13, well over 30 years ago now, technically. But definitely, hang on, let me minimize that. But just type in Chaos Nova, because when we were talking about when he was like live streaming his gaming sessions, Martian Memory is another
So,
what you would call retro game.
This?
Eh?
Or he saved this from way back when.
Yeah, and like I won't play any videos per se, but encourage you guys to look it up yourselves, because like if you love retro gaming as well,
Yeah,
and you love Alita, then quite literally you can combine the two and watch the streams, the gameplay streams, because it's just amazeballs as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, it's really neat. It's almost like it is like watching Alita. Although in the game she's called Gally, of course, but still, it's like watching Alita, and it really does follow the movie and the manga fairly close. I mean,
and those old school graphics, they make me feel like I'm 10 years old again, playing like the
oh gosh,
yeah.
Okay.
In fact, we even did a reaction video.
Creaky,
Yeah,
you must have been about 70 when the N64 came out.
That's the one.
No, I was about 7,992. I
Yeah, I know it.
But yeah, so if you like I said, if you love retro gaming and you love Alita, quite literally combine the two loves and look those videos up, because they're definitely worth it, I can assure you.
Yeah. Hello, Mike Hunt.
Hello, Mike.
Oh no, it's not.
Hey, he's gone.
Oh my god. Easy,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent him an invite.
Oh, what to do that for?
Good day, mate.
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, a whole lot. We hadn't heard from you in a while, man. You've been lurking, haven't you?
Yeah, mate. It's the only way to do it. Creep around in the
He's always
background.
creeping around, is Dizzy.
The old creeper.
Yes.
Creeping
How's
in the
everything?
background.
How's everything down there in Tassie?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty
Oh,
good.
Down The down under of down under.
The down
Way
under
down
one,
under.
yeah.
It's the only way to
Yeah.
be. It's
That's
down
right.
under.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, it is.
And you had to put that as your PFE. Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah, mate. I was hoping you would see that, mate. Another war started.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, that's right. Just
Thanks,
what we
Lottie.
would need. Just what we would need.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome aboard, Dizzy. It's good to hear you again, man.
Whereas, mate, good to be back.
All right. All right. Well, anyway, sign the petition. We got sidetracked, and that's all right. Also, we got the Hero Arm campaign going on, and you see, we got a little bit of money in there. Actually, we got more than that in our bank account, though. We got like $4,000, I think, something like that, and it keeps growing a little bit, every week. So, we're getting there slow but sure. But the link is down in the description below the screen. If you find that a little intimidating, there's also a tip jar down there that you could put a little bit of money in if you want. And no amount's too small. But if you cannot donate, then when you see this, I've been tweeting this out a little bit more lately. I haven't been able to do it this week so much. I did it once this week, I think, but because I've been kind of busy this week. But if you see this in a tweet, or you see it on a post on some other social media platform, repost that thing. Just kind of give it a like and repost it, and let's get somebody deserving that, get them a bionic hand.
Keep spreading the word.
That's right.
Hey, Creaky, if you got your rig out, mate, I reckon you'd earn a few more dollars.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Got his what out?
Get his rig out, his body, his top. Get his top off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty well built for Cretaceous period.
For an 8,000-year-old power lifter, as Den would say.
Cosplaying powerlifter.
Yeah, well, I don't do any cosplaying now. That's for sure. Although I was going to tell Vladi, I forgot that my actress friend that she wants to do it
in your bar.
That's right. Get her in the bar. Plus, we want to take her out like she's in a Badlands or something. We know a little spot.
Oh, that'd be great for Feb 14th.
Yeah, it would. Now,
what was the news on it then? Is it bad or good news?
No, there's just that we're going to fly an airplane around Disney.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cosplay, your cosplayer friend.
I thought Angela said something about February the 14th, and we're going to fly an airplane.
I missed
my cosplaying friend, or she's not really a cosplayer, but she would do it, But she could come into the bar, and we could see Alita in the bar, and then go out to a little spot we know out there. It looks like the Badlands. Now the only problem, it is cold as hell out here now. I mean, it got down to minus 17 degrees Celsius the other night. So
she'll be all right. Just bring a big jacket.
In a later onesie, mate.
Yeah, that's what she'd be wearing too, wouldn't she? If she wore that.
Exactly.
She wore that berserker thing.
That'll be great.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, let's move on before we get too far afield, I guess.
So wait, sorry. When are you doing that shoot?
What's the shoot? That's going to be on February 14th. This thing.
You're doing that on the day or before?
No, we're doing it on the day.
Oh, so she's coming on February the 14th.
Okay. Wait a minute. No. The airplane's going to be flying on February the 14th.
Well, sorry, you're talking about the cosplayer girl. When's she doing it? That's what I'm asking.
She's overseas working on a project, so she can't do it right
sorry.
now.
It sounded like there was some kind of commitment happening there. My bad.
No, that's all right.
There's no news on that.
There is on the February the 14th.
Yeah, that's this. That'll be flying the airplane.
That's the commitment, mate.
Yeah, and doing the mass tweet. That's what we're going to do. So anyway,
what about your friend?
Well, she's working overseas somewhere, working on a movie. So I don't know what she's doing.
Fly her back to this.
Yeah, I could pay her airfare back here, fly her back first class, and say,
Get
hey, would
Jimmy
you?
Cameron on the case. He can use his private jet.
Yeah, I'm so sure. So anyway, folks, let's move along. So anyway, here's the mass tweet we want to do on Valentine's Day, and that I actually did this time put this down in the description. So anyway, just be on the lookout for that. On February 14th, we are going to bombard Disney, and I want us to tag James Cameron, John Landau, and Robert Rodriguez as well. So let them know. Of course, Cameron, Landau, and Rodriguez know we're here, but I just want to remind Disney that we're here. And we bring this up every week on this stream and on Radio Chaos. So we want to get the word out. That's for sure. Okay. Anybody got any comments about this? About February the 14th?
It would be pretty shitty if we didn't get a shout out on the 5th anniversary.
Yeah, it would.
We'll see
As long as we bombard Disney's inbox with this, hey, I'm good with it. I wish I knew Disney's Facebook account if they got one. I guess I could look it up. Let's see what we got here. We got a couple of things. This looks like one from Chaos. Let me put this in the chat, then we'll go on to the main topic. So what is this?
The other one that's a musical short. The second one is Vladi playing the piano, which I thought was pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me put that in there, and I'll put the description with it. So
I need to do another one of those.
yeah, you do.
Yes, you should, especially if you still have that keyboard.
Yeah. No, I'm just wasting it right now.
Damn it!
Gathering dust, sadly.
I put it in the wrong post, but anyway, here it is in the right one this time. So
yeah, and that was based on like Tom Hulkenberg's YouTube videos where he
I
was,
forgot
like,
you played I forgot you played piano there, Vladi. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I used to play when I was a kid.
Oh, cool.
No, I just play now and then
All right.
for fun.
Okay, well, let's go on to the main topic. Here we go. The producer says he wants to go on to the main topic. That would be me. Anyway, before we get into the actual plot, in which I've got a series of slides that's going to, show pictorially what I think is going to happen, and we can comment on it and maybe even make adjustments, at least in the discussion. So how Alita is going to be different in the sequel than she was in Alita Battle Angel was that she's going to be concentrating on Motorball to forget about Hugo. Okay, that's one thing there. Also, she's going to be an experienced bounty hunter. So, in other words, she was a hunter warrior about halfway through the movie, so she became a hunter warrior. And the fact that she lost Hugo means she's going to be probably more mature of it. She's just going to be more grown up. I mean, you could see that at the end of the movie. And sweet or cynical? Well, I'd say it depends on what she was doing. I mean, she was mostly sweet in the movie until the end. She was more like manga Alita, I think, in the end. But I think you'll see both sides of her on that. And I think she will be vengeful because I think she's going after Nova. That's what she's going to do. And that's going to be a revenge situation, which would be cool, So anybody got anything to add to that?
Well, there's the whole interview with Kayla Grittis, and they, for a while I thought, how can it be possible? Because there's a problem if you go by the manga, just living in Zone at all, because his child is a mutant. He's blind, not like the other Alita was in the film, but
yeah.
But how did you do that?
Well, Nova could come down from Zalem too. I mean, that could happen because he does do that in the manga. He leaves Zalem, because he was in that, whatever that laboratory was that he actually put Ito in that box, and he got Zapan's brain and all that stuff, so he's pretty bad that way. But yeah, he was on Earth, he wasn't in the floating city. So what about anybody else? You got any thoughts about how Alita is going to be different before we get into the actual plot?
Are we going through each of these bullet points as separate slides as well?
No, not yeah. Well, not well, somewhat, but I got a bunch of slides.
You've covered a lot here.
Yeah, and it's good.
Covered, like,
All I
thing.
wanted. This is what sets up Alita right here. This is kind of speaking to her personality, I think, or her how she reacts with people and stuff like that when we start going through the next few slides.
Yeah.
So
she's definitely going to be colder, like she is in the manga when she is like giving Ido the cold shoulder a bit and stuff.
Yep. And I don't know if they'll do that as much in the movie as like it was in the manga.
Probably not.
They might. Yeah, probably not. But yeah.
They have a bit more healthy relationship in the movie, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anybody else?
She'll have a cat's tail.
Oh, that's not
do
gonna
it, Cameron. Don't do it, Cameron.
Don't get Creek worked up now. So she wouldn't get that till she got, say, in Alita 6.
I reckon they'll chop it up and just make her have it anyway. So they'll move not the tail, but bits and pieces of the manga, and then mold it all into the second one.
Well, I think they would probably take a good bit of the second one, and I think what we're going to see is 2 main arcs is what I'm going to go through, in the next few slides, and then the beginning of the Badlands arc is what I think is going to happen. But anyway,
I'd love to see how Alita treats the fans now that she's a Motorball star, given how she was the one who was starry-eyed and admiring the big Motorball players in the first movie. I like to see how she interacts with the fans and interacts with the other big Motorball stars.
Yeah. We'll get to that because the Motorball arc is going to be a pretty important arc, and I think before they really get into it firmly, they'll have a little section at the beginning, where she's we'll get to it. So.
It's going to be so different how she's going around Iron City as kind of like a celebrity there rather than some random cyborg girl nobody knows.
Well, I think she's going to be roaming around like a celebrity, but I think she's also going to be roaming around like a hunter warrior as well, which is a little bit different.
Celebrity you don't want to fuck with. Don't take any pictures of paparazzi pictures of her in dodgy places.
Yeah, that's right.
I reckon they'll have a lot of Alita Motorball merchandise too, like Alita chocolate.
Oh, I hope.
Everyone will be cruising around with it in the movie.
Yeah, I hope they come out with a lot of that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. All right, well, let's move on to it. Here's the plot. So anyway, the way I see it is, they'll have a little bit of a partial little segment at the beginning about, she has moved out of Ido's clinic. She has her own apartment, and she's started performing in the Kansas bar, and of course she's a bounty hunter, and she's a pro Motorball player, and they're going to kind of set that up at the very beginning. Of course, we already know she's a pro Motorball player because she was that, at the end of the movie she was the second league champion, so that's a pro, a Motorball player. And we already know that she's a hunter warrior because she became one when she was with her and Hugo went to the Kansas bar. I guess before they did that, they just stopped off by the factory so she could get her ID card. So, and then after she has her match with Joshigan, I think then they'll transition over into her fight with Zerkerpan. And then after that, at the end of that, they'll start the Badlands art. So anybody got any thoughts? Is that kind of what you see?
Yeah, I got a thought. Happy birthday to Finn. It sounds like it's his birthday today.
Ah, Finn. Yes, happy birthday, Finn. Yeah, schöne Geburtstag, Finn. So that's cool. Yeah. I hope I said that right, Finn. That's that Swiss German. I'm not sure that was exactly
he
what
might have already gone to his watch party.
Could be, So anyway, that's the way I see it. What do you guys think?
It's definitely going to be a bar thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I reckon they'll leave the Zerker Serpent fight. They'll sequel bait it into the third one.
Yeah, well, they could do that. I think they're going to, I hope they do this. I hope they put both arcs in there and make it a 3-hour movie. That's what I hope.
Mm.
I mean, if they made it a 6-hour movie, I'd watch it.
Still not long enough.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. So, okay, any thoughts?
My best guess is they'll delve into which I guess in a manner of speaking is just like a step above from metaphorically dipping your toes into it, but they'll delve into the Jashugan versus Alita, but I do feel Zerkapan would probably be the main theme of the second.
I don't think they can drag out her coming up against Japan into the third movie, because it's just built up so much from the first movie. They'd be dragging it out too much. I think they've got to do both the arcs in the second.
Yeah, I
movie.
think that's why they're going to put it in the second movie as well. Because I think it'd be more of a natural fit. Because, well, if you remember in the manga, that's what pushes him over the edge is he sees Alita on TV, and it just his brain goes sideways on him, and he kills Sarah and all that good stuff, So
it's Alita haters in a few years when the sequel's coming out.
Yes.
Every time they see Alita on the side of a bus, they're like, no.
Well, I don't know if they have buses up in the 26th century there.
Well, there was the truck. Yeah,
there was that truck. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was.
Yeah, they had some weird looking transportation too, where it looked like you were hanging on like a.
No, there was an open flatbed truck in Last Order.
Yeah. I was talking about haters in real life, how they'd react like Japan when they see her on TV or whatever.
Yeah. So anybody else got anything? Matthew, what do you think?
Well, no, go ahead, Matthew. Sorry.
I'm not really sure all the arcs. I'm just worried that might be too much for the audience to. It might be a lot of information all in one single movie.
Yeah, one thing I do think is that, James Cameron, look what he did on Avatar. He had Avatar was 2 hours and 15 minutes, and Avatar 2 was nearly 3 hours, or was it 3 hours? I can't remember, but I think he has a propensity.
3 hours 15 or something.
Yeah. I think he has a propensity for making the sequel longer than the original. So that's the reason why I think it's going to be a longer movie. So plus I get I think he was disappointed, or not him maybe directly, but I think a lot of folks were disappointed because they left out some of the stuff that they were going to shoot in a 2.5 hour movie. And that kind of made it put some gaps in it, as you were watching the movie, like, for her to go from riding that gyrocycle on the back of Hugo's gyrocycle up to going ahead and playing in Motorball, they left out about, several weeks of her training, and that would have been cool to see at least a couple of training scenes.
Yeah, we could have had a training montage.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but the issue, I went to see Avatar 2, and actually, according to me, in this movie there were simultaneously too many stuff and nothing at all, and at some point you just lose the attention of the viewer. If there is too much action in one single movie, the viewer feels like he can't breathe. And if there is too many things, too many plots, and too many calm times, the viewer just lose interest. That's some rules of cinema, and I'm just scared that if we put so many things in the movie, there would be way too much stuff happening for the viewer to feel like they can breathe. And if we time them with in between, we may lose the attention of the viewers. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right.
Depends how they do it.
Well, Lee, what do you? Let's ask our on-panel author here, Lee. What do you think?
Sorry, I was focusing on chapter 27 here.
Oh, is Ray focusing on your own story?
This guy.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
What part are we on here?
What do you think that they're going to make Alita Fallen Angel? Are they going to make that a longer movie than the original? And are they going to put 2 arcs in it? The Motorball arc and the Zerkerpan arc?
Considering how compressed it ends up being, if you get more than 1 arc in there, they might do 2 arcs, but hard to say. I certainly think they'll probably go longer. I mean, it's with the success of the first movie, it seems likely they'll add, at least another 15 minutes or half hour.
Okay.
Hopefully more.
With just 1 arc in it, then is what you think?
Well, like I said, it's hard to say. They might, if it goes longer, they might be able to have enough room to fit 2 arcs in.
Yeah. Well, I think they'd have to have 3 hours if they're going to do that, though.
There was one article earlier last year which said how the new movie can fix problem with the old movie, and it was saying basically how they can, because they'll probably have a longer runtime, they can fix the fact that they were saying how the first one was a bit rushed and stuff. So I think they probably will do that. Make it longer.
Okay. Well, Angelus, what's your take?
Oh, muted. Like I said, they'll probably go a touch above, like a brief passing or a brief mention, I should say, because they do need to. Is it exposition when you explain the story or lore or background?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they still have to do the exposition of the itself and its history, even if it is for a single scene and that scene goes for maybe 5 minutes or something, like the equivalent of an alleyway fight.
Okay.
But
they did that in the special features part of it on the Blu-ray.
Yes, they did too.
But they can do it again, and we'll watch it.
Yeah, we will. We will watch it. Absolutely, we will watch it. So what you're thinking, Angelus? Then they're going to do like a little mini kind of not prequel, but just something up at the front about her.
Probably.
Yeah, recap. Yeah, there you go. Of her in the ERM, right? And then the ERM military, and then maybe come back to whatever 26th century present day, whatever that was, and then they would do 1 arc. Is that your thought?
Yeah, essentially, because I mean, now that Dizzy reminded me, I do remember the that what is it, 5 or 10 minute long special, and even just a single scene recap, because that's, while they did do that special feature, only people that would have bought the DVD would have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have some sort of, I mean, I would imagine and
yeah,
feel
let's
that
just forget a lot of the stuff on that. Some of that wasn't that great anyway.
Oh, come on, mate. It was epic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
I just remember there being a couple of things thinking, is that really the right canon backstory we want?
Yeah.
I don't care. Well, I didn't care about
some
that.
Stuff in there.
Yeah, I didn't care about that because I saw the movie before I actually read the manga.
They'd say, would you know, mate? You gotta read it, bro.
Yeah. But I'm saying, regardless, I was like,
okay. Well, what do you think, Vladi? What do you think they're going to do on the sequel?
I think I already said, didn't I?
Well,
they're going to do Japan again. Definitely more Motorball, and I'm not sure how it's going to end. But she obviously probably won't be facing her. But like I said, I don't know because I've read past where the movies are, the first movie covered. So it's hard for me to speculate.
Okay.
But I can, like I said, I can sort of guess what's going to happen because they've set it up so well.
Yeah, they have set it up very well.
Well, your view is probably going to be the more one that everyone wants because not everyone else has read the mangas either. It's just your normal viewers, mate.
Most viewers are like me.
Most plebs. So what would you want to see, mate?
Yeah.
I just want to see more. We all just want to see Alita kicking ass and being a badass cyberpunk babe.
Yes. Yes, I want to see that as well. And if they don't merge
Who
the
wouldn't
two
want to
arcs,
see that? You've got to be crazy
Yeah.
not to want to see.
oh yeah. And if you know what, my thought, if the Creek doesn't get his way and they don't put two arcs in the movie, that's okay. That means I get an extra movie.
Oh, I thought you were about to like say you're gonna burn down Disney or something.
No, hell no.
No, he's not bloody.
No.
I've never once threatened that. How dare you?
Well, do not stand by. What do you think?
Yeah, well,
Burn down Disney or not? Was that the
No.
No,
What do you
no,
think
no.
the plot?
Joking, of course. Disney
Yes.
Intelligence Service. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, I'd be happy too if they just did one arc, but that meant that there would be an extra movie. Let the arc breathe more. I certainly could see that they have Nova figure in more with the Motorball arc. He doesn't really figure in until the Japan arc. So maybe this quest of Alita to want to go to Zalem, maybe it could be written in a way that would fill an entire movie where Nova tries to test Alita through Motorball and taunts her with the prospect of becoming champion, only to have her lose in the end to Josh Gunn, but have Josh Gunn die in a blaze of glory.
Mm.
Oh, kind of like in the manga.
Yeah, that'll be so epic.
Yeah. Well, Chaos, what do you think? He might have stepped away, or he's muted. Are you muted, Chaos? Well, let's ask Mike Hunt, aka Dizzy D.
I'll have it all. I don't care what they do in the next movie as long as there is one, and I'll watch it.
Okay, fair enough.
Just a sucker for it. But look, if they have, I really like the Motorball in the manga. I thought it was really good. It's the only thing I've read where I've had to go from sitting to standing, and I was yelling at the book because it was that intense. If they put that in the next one, and it's page for page, you can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's interesting. You yelling at the book. I wish I could have seen that.
Oh mate, it was unreal. I was getting that fired up. It was the arm wrestle part.
Oh God, yes. They gotta put that in there.
Yeah, it's way too intense not to. Are they still going to do the heart bit from that though? Because they already moved that to a more romantic scene.
Yeah, I would say no. They probably wouldn't do that. They, you know, you can take my heart, Josh-a-Gon, if you kick my ass. So no.
Because they probably already did the heart scene. If they were condensed for time, you could probably like if you remember from the first movie on how Josh-a-Gon was like had his guard up per se, and he was like pushing against someone, some other Motorball player. You could have that versus Alita, of like Josh-a-Gon versus Alita. Only perhaps this time you could maybe have a hands clasp or something in like a pseudo arm wrestle, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the actual thick of the action, and they're like trying to gain the upper hand through brute force.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Rosa Salazar arm wrestling with Jason Momoa playing Josh-a-Gon. That's what I'd like to see. Although I do think Jason Momoa he'd be better suited as figure 4. But get some big hulking guy, you know, some really strong dude, you know, big, you know.
Better get Creaky in there then.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The uwu would take over on me. I think if Rosa was in front of me and I'm arm wrestler, she'd beat me every time. So
you'd have to let her win. She's the queen. Yes,
I would let her win. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, we've heard from everybody, so let's go ahead and start off. Then the way I see now this is the way Creek sees it. Now, you know, certainly, you know, we've had 2 or 3 opinions here on the way the movie would go, and I'm like Dizzy. Even though I want this, I don't care what they do. I'm going to watch it. So it doesn't matter. So, But anyway, it'd be kind of cool at the first of the movie if they showed her in her apartment, you know, and she's a single girl. She's just hanging out, you know, doing her thing, you know, and just, you know, just being a single girl, you know, that would be kind of cool. You know, she's moved out of Ito's clinic, and she's, you know, now she's just having
a day in the
fun.
life of a strong, independent cyber girl.
Exactly, you know, and at this point, she's probably got a martial arts class going on, you know.
Yeah.
Because I know in the manga, well, in the manga she does, you know, she's training other cyborgs. And I think there was a couple of other humans in that thing too, if I remember correctly. But it's been a while since I've read that part of the manga. But you know, I think she, you know, just a desire she has there to give knowledge to others and teach others how to defend themselves. Because one of the things about that is Iron City is such a hard place to live, and the crime rate's so high that she probably feels like it's her obligation to teach people how to defend themselves, you know. So yeah, Angelus, I guess Jai Courtney is pretty ripped, or he can get ripped. That would be cool to see her arm wrestling Jai Courtney. I mean,
Dave, what did you search up in Google to find out that, mate?
I just typed in Jai Courtney and then Bob's your uncle.
He's got a whole folder full of them.
Well, he was pretty big in
Jai Courtney photos.
Yeah, he was pretty big in that movie. God, what was that? The movie where the criminals, you know, were all
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. That's right. He was, you know, you couldn't tell how ripped he was because you couldn't see his muscles or anything, but he looked big, you know. So I mean, you know, I could see him getting ripped, you know, and then playing the part of Josh Gunn. I do want to see him though with long hair, because that's what he's got in the manga. He's got long hair. You know,
Such a weird change. Why did they just CGI hair on him to be more like the manga?
Well, for a cameo, they probably wouldn't want to do that, I guess. I don't know.
A wig.
But anyway, go ahead.
A mullet wig.
Yeah, have a mullet like the Creek used to have.
Yeah, mate.
So
a majestic mullet blowing in the wind.
So anyway, here's Alita. You know, she's got her own apartment. She's you know, she's that, you know, freewheeling, independent cyber girl, having fun, doing her karate class. She's performing at the Kansas bar, and you know, you can see in the lower left-hand corner there, they're cheering her on. Of course, that's probably because she's cute, you know. But anyway, you know, just playing for the locals there in the bar, you know, and just
I desperately want to see her play music.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that going to be in the next movie or in the one after?
I hope it is.
Maybe it'll be at the start. Just have her singing. That'll be beautiful.
Well, they probably wouldn't have her sing, you know, like for extended amount of time.
Just make people think they'll come into a musical right at the start. She should be singing with the birds flying in, and I think it'd be lovely.
No, Lottie. So no, but I
do a lovely dance.
But it would be neat for her to sing a little bit of a tune, you know, because I mean, Rosa can sing, you know. I mean, you know, exactly. Now she'd probably want some training, you know, so you know, to get, you know, just like she did when she was training in martial arts and how to, you know, rollerblade and all that good stuff. You know, she took it real serious, you know, and I can imagine if they told her, we're going to have you sing you know, some of a song, you know, and maybe, you know, she could probably, well, she can play the guitar too, by the way. I didn't know if you guys knew that, you know.
She can play a little bit.
Yeah, first position chords maybe, but that's still okay, you know. I mean, she's got some musical talent. It'd be cool to see her doing that, maybe at the beginning of the movie, just a little spot, you know, where she finishes off a song or something like that, and all the patrons in the Kansas bar, you know, kind of, you know, clap for her and stuff like that, you know, and then something else happens. Who knows, you know? But I think that would be extremely cool, you know.
You're playing the harmonica as well.
Yeah, she can play the harmonica. Yep.
Now that would be a cool scene to watch.
With her hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
That would be so beautiful. It's got to happen.
Well, the hair
can't let them
blowing
get
in
away
the
with
wind is going to be fake hair, of course, because they're going to CGI that hair, but that's okay.
You'd never know, though.
No,
It
you
looks
don't.
so it doesn't even really
What
matter.
song was she playing on that harmonica? Anyone know? Was just a picture.
Well, there was a guy that on YouTube that put together a video, of a tune called Alita's Theme or something like that. And
That was from the anime.
Yeah, that was from the anime, right? So, but I mean, who knows? In the manga, they don't really say. It just shows her playing it, So it's kind of like that guy in that movie Once Upon a Time in the West playing the harmonica. They don't tell you what he's playing. He's just playing some notes.
Yeah, fair enough.
What notes is she playing?
Well,
Shira should have written it out. Like, I bet Tolkien would have done that.
Carefully in the manga, there's usually a footnote or something.
There's a what? You're crackling up.
There's
man.
usually a footnote with an asterisk near the bottom of the actual manga page for what songs are being played. For instance, like when you see Chaos playing, it says that he's playing "Eye in the Sky" and another song by Alan Parsons.
Yeah, it's cool when he does that. But he didn't write her a whole melody.
Keep in mind that what she's playing, I mean, any music is going to be 540 years after now. So, I don't know if she'd be playing. It'd be like one of us playing a tune from
Bach,
1510 or something like that.
Back in your day, mate.
Yeah, back in my day. That's right.
Yeah. Were they playing lutes or something?
Yeah. Hell, I don't know what the hell they were playing.
Oh, come on, mate. You've got one at home.
But no, I think they would come up with a tune to make it like she's playing a contemporary tune of some kind. I think,
Well, it would be kind of cool if she was.
Since they ended the first movie on Swan Song, why not start the second movie with her doing like an a cappella Swan Song or a guitar with Swan Song?
Oh, that would be cool. I could live with that. Absolutely.
I'd rather she did something with like the theme from the.
I think it'd be cool. If there was a new theme song for a new movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would. Well, I'd rather the actual themes.
Maybe ask someone like Kaori Akima or something to sing if she's still around.
Well, I know one thing. If Rosa sings it, I'll be pleased with it. That's what I think. Whatever she sings, I'll be okay with that. So, yeah.
I just want to hear her voice.
Yeah, because she can sing. She certainly can, So, but anyway, there she is. She's not anything like what we saw in the movie in terms of fighting and all that. She's past it at this point, and she's, she hadn't even started, training. Well, she's in the Motorball, of course, but she's she's just hanging out, man. She's just like anybody else, Now in her case, she's the celebrity at this point, Alita is in the Iron City. So, and she'd probably walk the streets and people would recognize her and stuff like that, But she's, in the first movie, particularly toward the end of it, it was after she fought those cyborgs in the alley, it was like, okay, that's one of the main reasons I'm here in the movie is I'm going to fight and kick ass, But at this point of the movie, in the sequel, I don't think she's going to do that. I think she's just going to be like, just like anybody else, except she's going to be a cyborg, and just doing stuff like this. Now where that will change is at night when she starts going for bounties. Now she's she's going to have
that's when Battle Alita comes out,
just like Edo.
Yeah.
Here comes the rocket hammer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And I could even see her now, in the manga, her and Edo have a falling out, but I think in the movie they won't. I think it'll be she moves out, but she still helps Edo, around the clinic, kind of like in Lee's story, he has Alita still helping Edo out in the clinic, and that's like 3 months after the movie, So I think she would do that. I think, she would. I don't think in the movie that she's going to have a falling out with Ito. At least I hope she doesn't. But yeah, she's going to have, like, I don't know if they would pay her in the Kansas bar. I think they probably would or should. But she's going to be working, as a musician in the Kansas bar. She's going to be a hunter warrior, and she's going to be a motorball professional. So, this lady right here, she's going to be triple dipping it, isn't she? She's going to be making more credits than you can shake a stick at it. So, anyway, any thoughts, you guys? How about you, Mattu? What do you think?
I'm not sure. Could you repeat the question? I was answering to a text from my mother.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, what I was saying is that, Alita is going to be, probably during the day, she's going to be like anybody else. She's going to be, certainly playing at the Kansas bar on some nights for sure. But, when she's being a hunter warrior, she's going to be like she's going to be serious, kind of like Ito is, at hunting down marks, so she can get credits. So she's going to be making money as a musician, a hunter warrior, and as a professional motorball player. So
honestly, I think you're right. I really could picture that. Really, yeah. That would totally work. Like, she would still keep being her, bubbly and happy self in the day-to-day life. Singing would, bring out that aspect of her personality. She would be more serious, but still, kind of, professional as a motorball player. But when it comes to her into warrior, she becomes the killing machine she was created to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I think too. And she's, I think she's kind of trying to do things too to forget about Hugo as well. I think she's trying to still get past that. So, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think, Lee?
About her working in the Kansas bar and stuff, or
working Kansas bar and helping Ito in the clinic and, just doing her thing.
Well, with the clinic, it kind of depends. If they follow the manga, then she's going to separate herself from Ito to go, find her own path or something like that.
Okay.
There's another possibility, though. I mean, in my story, I had her about to do the same thing, but Ito and Gerhard convinced her that even if she thinks she's a danger to the people around her, it doesn't matter where she goes. Her enemies know where to find her loved ones. They can't go anywhere. They're all in the same city.
Yeah, and at least if she's there with the loved ones,
if she stays, they can support each other.
Yeah.
So it's possible that she stays in the clinic for one reason or other, but they may decide to go with the manga version in some fashion and have her decide that she's too much of a danger to be around, and she leaves.
Or maybe she also just.
But in the
with people such as Koyomi, the film version of Koyomi, anyways.
But she in the movie version, they might decide to have her at least let Ito know what she's doing, and so he's not like just left out to dry.
Yeah, like he was in the manga. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, where she just took off and he had no idea what the hell happened to her.
Well, I could see her helping Ito, even if when she moves into an apartment, because I think that'd be cool if they had her living in her own apartment, But
maybe that's the thing in the movie verse. Ito is going to have Gerhard, and if his clinic starts doing a bit better, then he might even be able to hire another person to help out.
Yeah, but I think
which will probably free them up to have her just have the story mostly focus on her moving forward, and kind of put them in sort of like the back seat, as it were.
Oh, okay. So, Angelus, what's your thoughts?
Sorry, distracted by the uwu.
Yeah.
Outside of the any and all references, there doesn't need to be that many to begin with, really. They just need to sort of touch upon it again beyond the flashbacks that they did in the first movie. But anyway, moving on from that, Yeah, they have to, I guess, link it up with her getting to Zalem, or do it in reverse, which will actually make it close to the manga, bringing Zalem down in the context of
Nova.
bloody Nova. I was about to say what's his face, of bringing Nova down to Iron City, with some plot device or twist.
I think the
Okay.
other thing too is, are they going to do the mystery that leads to Ito meeting Destiny Nova in person, or are they not going to do that?
Yeah, we could barely hear you, Chaos. I'm not sure that.
All right, is this better?
Yeah.
I heard him.
How much of the mystery subplot involving Ito eventually finding Destiny Nova at the end of the mystery are they going to do? That's my question.
You know, yeah. Go ahead, Angelus.
I was about to say, as a point of comparison, don't forget when the Vector's office scene, it started off with, and Vladi would know this because he's actually read that part of the manga, with Alita and Hugo going to the office, and then it's just Ito going to the office in the anime, and then it's like just Alita in the live action movie, going up to Vector's office to stab him in the gut. But yeah, because they, I guess in a way all three have a slightly differing angle or a different view. I guess the script is their oyster, in a manner of speaking. Like, who knows what sort of angle. But I mean, that's the beautiful part about this, and the beautiful part about this whole discussion is because we can, excuse me, we can literally talk about what we'd love to see, what could possibly be seen, and all of it would have like some level of validation purely because
we trust the filmmakers to like take the source material and just keep cracking on because they did so good the first time.
Yeah, like I mean, we've had a lot of these kind of discussions. I won't let it get too far away, but we've had a lot of these discussions, and still, like, I've always like held the stance of I place my faith in Cameron, in Rodriguez, and like, whatever their vision is, but in saying that, it's still so much goddamn fun speculating.
Yeah, it is. Well, Vladi, what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Angelus.
I was just going to say end of rant.
Oh, okay, end of rant. Okay. Well, Vladi, what do you think, Alita, being a single girl, doing all three of these things at once?
Yeah, no, I definitely want extended segments of just slice of life Alita.
Yes.
Post her being like a Motorball celebrity, going around playing music in the Kansas bar. God, it's just, and I don't think I was worried that she was going to be too like sad, because in the manga when she does like separate from Ito, she's all a bit really depressed. But I think I like the sound of what you were saying when they don't do that in the movie, and she still stays with Ito, like helping around the clinic and stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, they've got to show her having her own place too, and all that is just going to be so sweet to see.
I think so too, but I do think though that there will be, brief periods of time in the movie, very brief, where she's, kind of depressed, and
yeah,
I think they'll do that because she really loved Hugo, and he's pushing up daisies now, so he's not, and she misses him.
Or is he? Dun, dun, dun.
I hope. Now, look, don't take this wrong.
Hugo's return. He's back. Why haven't we discussed this yet? You're trying to keep it quiet. Hugo's still alive. God damn it.
No, I think they ought to keep him dead. No, I tell you what, I wouldn't mind them doing.
We've already had scenes from that.
Yeah, we have. But if they did some flashbacks and stuff, I would be fine with that. I wouldn't have any trouble with that at all. But I want to stick to the manga. I don't want them to depart from that. you know. So
Well, you want them to stick to what later Calogridis herself said. We kill that sucker every single time.
yes, she did say that, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, yes, she did. Well, do not stand by. What do you?
Quote.
Yeah, what do you think? Do not stand by her, Alita being all three of these things at once, and maybe, as the Vladdy says, slice of life, Alita being in the movie and stuff like that. What's your take?
Well, it would be great for them to follow up on Alita's her idea to team up with Ito, and I think it would actually be a cool idea to have them team up, at least for one Hunter Warrior round where they do have something that's significant to them. Maybe it could be related to Shirin, about trying to find out what happened to Shirin.
Yeah. Well, Alita would know what kind. She would have an idea what, you know, that she knows. Well, she knows Shirin's in a box. She knows that. So now, you know, it's like, okay, let's go. You're right. Let's go see what's happened to her, you know, because certainly Alita knows Shirin's still alive because her eyes moved and, you know, her heart was still beating and stuff like that. So, you know, it could be a, you know, kind of like an undercurrent, you know, or I guess you would say subplot or something like that, where it's always in the back of particularly Ito's mind of where is Shirin, you know, that wouldn't be a bad idea, I think. What about you, Chaos?
I don't know. I just feel like things aren't going to be the same, and I'm just wondering, okay, how much of this, of what they said, what people, especially later Caleb Britta said in interviews, is going to be part of how they are going to do it, because it just feels that it diverges. And I'm going to be honest here that even the video game does diverge a lot. Last Order doesn't mean the same thing in the game, Martian Memories, it does in the manga at all. Part of that is because the game was made before Last Order even started, and it was also released in 1998. So it was, you know, Kishiro trying to rush out an ending, and he wasn't sure he was going to finish. So I don't know. We'll see. I just have feelings that some things are going to be different. We do have the origin, you know, the same origin, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, Dizzy, what do you think? Is Alita going to be going to do all three of these things and be kind of like the super chick, or what?
I reckon that they're going to go down the Disney princess route.
Oh, God almighty, I hope not.
Your tongue.
No.
I hope
like
they
that.
don't.
They should start the movie like that with like a musical bit, and then they should like fade to black and be like, just kidding. And then like James Cameron's going to be like, just kidding. At least it hasn't become like a Disney nightmare.
I don't know, because I just remember when we had that one.
Had what?
With the interview with the screenwriter, with Lady
Calogridis.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm pretty sure she said in there somewhere that she was a Disney princess.
She might have mentioned something about that. I can't remember.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't sort of try and do that, because I want, probably the same as everyone else, the best parts of the manga, the anime, and the movie for me are all the softer parts where she's thinking, there's the emotional moments and all that. It's not so much the fighting and all this stuff. So if they have her singing, they have her doing all that sort of stuff, it's going to be great. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a scene in the manga where she's sitting on the hill and she says this massive quote. I can't remember what it was, but it was really good. You know, just stuff like that, which is what I'd like to see.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, Diz. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good, mate. I think I've said what I needed to say.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I liked her softer parts as well. You know, I mean, I do like her badass moments, that's for sure. But, you know, yeah, where she just sometimes seems like a regular girl, you know, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think, you know, because you got this person that's just, you know, a regular girl, you know, real cute, you know, real sweet, you know, sings, does all this stuff. and then on a blink of an eye, she goes sideways on you.
Exactly, yeah.
But
that's why people love her so much.
Yeah, because I mean, especially if her friends or family are threatened, I mean, it's like a different person, does this, and that's what I like about her. I mean, she's both of those things at the same time. She's a killing machine, but she's really sweet, so.
And shows a lot of humanity.
Yes, she does. Yeah, we've had a lot of streams on that talking about where she's still human, even in her Imaginos body, because even though she's got a brain chip and not a human brain, she has all of those human tendencies, and she still identifies herself as human. Because it's like when she goes up to Zalem, and those, I guess what was one of those kids or something said she was a robot or something. She says, "I am not a robot," or something like that. But she wasn't a robot, but at that point she was an android. But yeah, I agree with you. I think I really like the real soft parts of Alita. I think it's really neat.
Yeah, well, that part where they're on the rooftop in the movie and they're just talking. You know what I mean, and all that stuff. That's what I like. I like that stuff. And that's the same in the anime when they're on top of the rooftop, staring up at same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Those are the moments where you really fall in love with Alita, because she's just she's just so warm, and she's falling in love with this new guy and the world as well, and you do as well. It's just such a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it is.
I got a question for you, Diz.
Nah, I'm not interested.
How
he sounds way too tired.
How close to a bowl of Jello were you when you were watching the movie in the cinema and Alita opened her eyes for the first time?
Was it really?
That would have been like a very human moment.
Yeah. For me, that part of the movie when she opened up her eyes, I was just fascinated that they were so big, and I was like, well, she's a robot or cyborg, and it looked really cool, and I was like, well, what else is going to happen here? Then she got up and fell over and all that, and I thought, this is really cool. I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched that Rebel Moon, but where you see that android or whatever it is, BattleBot, and then he's like, gives that little girl the flower, and then I'm like, well, what's his backstory? And that's what I first started off with Alita when she opened her eyes, and then all this, I'm like, well, what's going on here? This is great. Feed me the rest of the story. Where did she come from? And I remember every time I watched the anime, because that's what first introduced me to Alita back in the 90s, was not the manga but the anime. They always used to stop when they never used to get to Zalem. Never used to get up there, and I always used to wonder what was up there. Obviously, if I'd have read the manga back in the day, I would have found out. But yeah, they always leave you hanging. So if you haven't read the manga, but you've watched the anime and the movie, you're going to get that same thirst. What's up there?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I liked her when she opened her eyes too. I mean, it was like, for me, it was not like what's going to happen next, but for me, it was like, because I'd seen, with my grandson, he used to like to watch this movie Frozen, and we watched that thing about 10 times, and both those characters have big eyes, kind of like Alita. When she opened her eyes, I thought, wow, God, that's really pretty, and I said, man, this is really cool, and that's when she started hooking me right there, because it was so unusual, but it was still pretty, I mean, that's what I thought.
I do have one final thing to say, but I thought I might give the floor out to anyone else, or the mic, as it were. Mike Hunt. To anyone else that might still have a point of view before we move on. But and this does reference the slide as well, but when Disney, bloody hell, when Dizzy mentioned the Disney princess thing a while back, that got me thinking,
Don't eat yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'm already a little bit black-eyed. You know, by definition, she is a Disney princess now because obviously Disney owns her. But I mean, like,
Not
I feel
in the
there's
traditional sense.
yeah, and I've got and I've just put a name to it as well because there's a Disney princess, and then there's what I would call a Cameron princess. You know, like you've got your Alitas, you've got your Ripleys, your Connors,
Neytiri.
I mean, like all of those, like certified badass female leads, protagonists. You know, you definitely wouldn't call them a princess. But I mean, like, I guess in the context of things, like I said, I would call them a Cameron princess, which is far different from, and as far as I'm concerned, a far superior thing than Disney princess. So, you know, like if they, and it all comes back down to the whole, you know, I place my faith in Cameron's vision and, you know, Rodriguez's ability to interpret that vision as well.
Totally.
Yeah. For me, she's, you know, I like that she, if we call her a Disney princess, I'm okay with that as long as she is a badass Disney princess because she can, like Wadi was saying a while ago, she's really sweet. You know, she can really be like a genuinely good person, you know, and just kind of a person you would want to be around, you know, and hang out with, you know, but she can be one highlightious badass, you know, and that's what I like about her. That, but you know, that potential, you know, that difference in what can happen if you know, if somebody threatens her or her family, you know, I mean, or friends, you know, she can turn on a dime, as they would say, you know, to protect.
And in Avatar 2, Neytiri quite literally did. Someone took her son and she went, well, watch the movie and find out if you haven't already.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we hit that pretty good, I think. So anyway, she's in the Motorball art course. It's going to start out, you know, she's a second league champion, you know, and I think we're going to see this guy, Ed, you know, on the right, because Maxie pointed out at one point that when she was in the locker room and Ed, there was a guy that was walking away from her, kind of walking toward the tunnel where she was going to go out eventually. And this was after, I guess, Ito and Gerhard had left, you know, but, you know, that's Ed, you know, and I think we're going to meet him for sure, you know. And what I would
the tryout or the end?
Well, yeah, on what she thought was the tryout, you know, but there was that one guy that was in there that his back was to the camera and he was kind of like walking away from her, you know, as she was, I think she was putting that 99 on her shoulder plate, you know, but I'm not sure about that. But anyway, there was a scene in there where this guy was in there walking away and Maxie pointed out that was Ed, you know.
There is an Ed in the credits, right?
I'm not sure. I'd have to go look at that now. You might be right.
I swear I remember that. I could just be remembering that in my head.
Well, anyway, you know, I guess at the end of the movie, after Hugo falls and she points the Damascus blade up at Zalem, I think there's been at least 3 months, maybe 6 months have gone by, you know, because it would take a while to win a league championship where you had, say, some amount of matches that had to be played, you know, because, you know, I know how professional sports are here in America. It takes a while to get through a season, you know, at least 4 months at the minimum. Because I know like baseball starts in early April and it ends in October. So and football is similar. It starts in August and it ends in February. So I mean that's a 6 month kind of endeavor. And I don't see Motorball, you know, it may not be 6 months, but I would think it would at least be 4 months, you know.
By the way, Ed is apparently played by Vincent Fuentes.
Oh, cool. So they're all right. Excellent. So yeah, we're going to see Ed.
He's probably that guy wandering in the changing room. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was pointing out.
Is that Vincent Fuentes then?
I guess. I don't know. Maybe it is.
We need to track him down and get him on the podcast. Yeah,
that'd be cool, wouldn't it? So yeah, but anyway, she's a second league champion now, and she, if you remember from what the announcer said, when she was standing in front of the mirror, you could hear him in the background, and even before that, he said that she had climbed away the top of the second league in just a few months, is what he said. So, I mean, it's got to be at least 3 months. I think it's more than that. I think it's 4 at least. And she's quite accomplished. She's not a rookie. Now she's not a first leaguer yet, but she is the best. The best of the second league. Yeah, there he is.
So what I'm about to show you guys, I won't play it. There won't be any sound, but and it'll only be for like about 5, maybe 10 seconds tops, so we don't get yeeted.
Mm-hmm.
But is that the one in the corner there? I want to press play.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, didn't do anything.
But yeah, so this is the locker room scene, and he'll be seeing.
We're not seeing anything. We're seeing just a black screen, is what we're seeing.
Oh, really? Oh, god damn it!
Yeah, it's some protection, copyright protection.
All right. In that case, I'll stop sharing, but I'll show it to Creaky in just a sec.
Yeah.
Because there is a scene where you see the back of someone walking.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
It's best just to take a screenshot and then I don't know, show that.
Yeah.
I think a screenshot does the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
If it is like Netflix, it does. Which browser are you using?
Mozilla.
It's
then I don't know, because I know that on certain browsers you can there is a parameter you can disable, and it makes you able to stream and screenshot, but I don't know how it works on Mozilla. I don't use it.
It's like hardware acceleration or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the scene. I certainly do, because Maxie pointed it out to me. So it, he's walking. It's in the changing room or the locker room.
Yeah, he does literally nothing. He just walks.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're just assuming that guy.
But they gave him credit. That's excellent. That is really cool. I'm glad they did that, because I mean, usually you only give credit to people that have speaking parts, or some other significant role. So. But anyway,
I'm noticing Zapan Crony #2 is played by a Jamie Landau. I wonder if that's like John's nephew or something.
I think that is John's nephew.
Is it his nephew? I guess that right.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think I read something about that somewhere, that he was in the movie. That John Landau.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
He'll be back in the sequel for begging John to get him.
Yeah, him and Billy Blair were the cronies. Yeah. So now Alita's still the single girl here. She's doing her Kansas bar thing, and she's doing the Hunter Warrior thing, and when she's not playing Motorball or training, she's doing those things. And of course, when she's training or in practicing or whatever she does, to prepare for a match, and then she's playing the match, she's doing this, So, and of course, what the Creek wants to see is I want to see Elle Lamont come back as Screwhead and team up with Alita. I want her, Elle. Actually, I think Elle said this, but realize that she's been conned or duped or something like that, and she's kind of pissed off about it, and she goes up to Alita and says, "Hey, look, I'm with you. I think is what she said. Let's burn it all down." Is what she said, in the interview. And but that'd be cool if she teamed up with Alita as one of her Motorball team members, And of course, the guy on the left you see over there, that's Adjicutty, okay. And I can't remember his name now, but he played, certainly he's the guy that got all chopped up by Kanuba's grind cutters, on the track, but of course cyborgs can be put back together. So now he looks pretty human there, doesn't he? He got human hands going and all that stuff, but it would be so cool to get those two back, to play on Alita's team, on her Motorball team. And, they get the team together. This is after she's won the second league championship. This is after she's, pointed the Damascus blade up at Zalem and up at Nova, and you see some interaction between Alita, Adjucuti, and Screwhead, and just kind of working with each other and stuff like that. And it would be kind of neat too, also, if they put a little drama in it, because really Screwhead is not a first league player. She was they put her up as a second league, factory practice team. Now that could be that could be everybody eligible, for the second league, or at least could, try out at the very least, is what she was supposed to be doing there before it became Motorball, or Murderball rather. But it would be neat to see some of the other players say, why do you have her on our team? Because she's not a pro Motorball player. She's she's just a hunter warrior. She's just a brute, she's just a bully, or something like that, and she is, and of course, Alita backs her up, and says, no, she is the most lethal bounty hunter in Iron City. And she does have skills, and we are going to use her. And then, of course, you could have a little drama about disagreement among team members and all that. And Screwhead is on the team because Alita wants her on the team. So, I think that would be kind of cool if they did something like that, putting together the team. So,
yeah. Plus, they'll keep Creaky happy.
Yeah, it keeps Creaky happy. I want to see Adjucuti too, because he's different in the manga. He's just like a big old heavyset guy, with like a goatee, or I don't know what kind of mustache he's got going there, and he doesn't look like he's athletic. He just looks like he's obese to me. But this guy looks athletic, and that would be kind of neat. And plus, he didn't have neither him or Screwhead had any lines in the movie. And it would be kind of cool to see them get lines, and now they talk. That'd be kind of cool too, I think. Give them a role, give them a major role, So what do you guys think? Anybody?
Yeah, why not? I mean, obviously most fans won't really be thinking about them because they're such small roles, but for sure, put them back in there. Why not?
Well, in the manga, Alita does put together a team to go up against Emperor Joshigan, and Joshigan takes them all out, obviously, until he gets to Alita, and then of course it becomes a really contentious fight. We're going to get to that in a little while, So, but I could see something. I would like to see something like that in the movie as well, And I would also like to see them develop the friendship between Alita and Screwhead. Screwhead is going to be really contrite. She's sorry that she, tried to kill Alita and stuff like that, And maybe at the beginning, Alita doesn't trust her, because of course she did try to kill her, But
it was just for the money, though. It wasn't personal.
Yeah, it wasn't personal, and Screwhead she convinces Alita that that's what it was all about. She really didn't have any animosity against her at all or anything like that, and let's team up. I that's what I'd like to see. Anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, why not? I've already said that.
Okay.
I don't think does anyone else have any opinions on that? I mean, for sure, I'd like them to come back. I'm not like I wouldn't be crying in my sleep if they didn't come back, either of them, though. Sorry, Creaky.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that I certainly wouldn't mind seeing it, but I'm not too attached to the idea of them doing so.
Okay.
I don't like the idea too much because we already have a lot of characters that would be cool to see in the anime. So bringing back former character in the movie, bringing back former character, maybe it feels a little too much to me. Why there are so many different characters already in the universe that would be so cool to see.
They've got so many characters to squeeze in, Creaky. It might be hard to add those two back.
Well, I mean, in the movie, I mean, in the manga, rather, she does have a team. You know, she just put together.
She does have a team, yeah.
And if they're going to do a team, why not bring them back? You know, but I
want her to do like I've got to assemble a crack team. But that kind of gets a bit old, you know.
Well, Adjicutty wouldn't be a crap player. He's a first leaguer, you know. And now in the manga, he's not. He's a second leaguer in the manga. But you know, in the movie, he's a first league. He's in the Champions League, you know. So he's an accomplished player in the movie. Screwhead on the other is not. You know, she's not a first leaguer. You know, and it would be kind of neat to see a little drama like that. But anyway, that was my thoughts. What do you think, Chaos? I think Chaos is either muted or he had to step away with his kids. Dizzy B, what's your thoughts on this?
Who's Dizzy B? Oh, I see.
It's Mike Hunt. Yeah. Isn't that guy back in the 60s? It was the scuba diver that had the Sea Hunt series or something. None of you guys probably ever heard of that, have you?
No, way back in the 60s, no.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Regardless of what they do, considering the amount of characters that were introduced in Avatar 2, if anyone can pull it off, it's Cameron, and he's writing the script, or at the very least co-writing the script. So, hopefully his influence is even greater than before, especially in the context that if he does get Rob Rod to direct again, they give him a little bit more of what's the word I'm looking for? Latitude when it comes to what to include and what not to include, because I feel the only reason, and this is nothing against Rob Rod, he still remains one of my favorite, or he is my favorite director, even above Cameron of all people. But I feel the only reason why we didn't get a longer movie the first time around is because, you know, he had to hand it off to Rob Rod because he had to dedicate so much time to Avatar 1, as it were. And we only got the quality movie that we got because, you know, what Rob Rod said, you know, having James Cameron on set is like having your own personal Terminator. Watch it back. But yeah, so coming full circle, whether you bring back pre-existing characters or introduce new ones, when it comes to the core of the script / story, you know, Cameron's proven that he can get it done and get it done well.
I think so, yeah.
And in Avatar 2 case, that's, you know, 2.3 billion examples of why.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you hear this, Disney? 2.3 billion with a B dollars. You know, I mean, okay, well, let's not get Creaky and Bloody riled up about that. So.
I was going to start ranting. I was like, what's the point?
And this is what I was alluding to here. They're going to have to, if they're going to follow or be somewhat faithful to manga, they're going to have a team, you know. Now, this is Crimson Wind right here on Alita's left shoulder, you know. And what's this big tank guy's name again? Now, I can't remember.
Eagle.
Yeah, that's right. And this is Adjicutty right here on her right shoulder. And I don't know who this is right here. I don't remember. The guy on the far left over there. Who is that? Anyway, if they bring in new characters, I could see them maybe bringing in, say, Crimson Wind. You know, I could see that. But Teagle and this other guy on the far left here, they're going to be introducing new characters, which means now they don't have to do their complete backstories, but they kind of got to introduce them to the audience, and maybe do a little something there. Whereas if they brought in Screwhead and Adjicutty, then they don't have to put in that fifth character there, or the fourth character on their team, because they've already got Adjicutty there. So they're only really be getting rid of two characters, and they would still have only just an additional character. Well, they would have, I guess, Screwhead, and Screwhead would take the place of the guy on the far left, and then of course they could bring in a new character with Crimson Wind. They'd only be replacing Teagle,
Well, technically, Crimson Wind was in the first one, along with Teagle.
Yes.
Along with Adjicutty as well.
Yeah, but that's right. They were in. That's right. I guess they used Zariki in Teagle's place, didn't they? Yeah. But anyway, they're going to have a team anyway. So I don't know. I mean, if they follow the manga, they're going to have a team. Okay, so why not just have those two? I mean, you're not adding anything extra. You got to, that you got to put a lot of effort into introducing them, or something like that. So. Then, of course, in the Motorball arc, eventually we're going to get to this, I could see them playing a couple of matches like they did in Rollerball. They had a couple of matches before they got to the finals, and, they could handle it various ways. I don't really care as long as they have the match, I would like to see the arm wrestling thing. I really would like to see that, but if they don't want to make Joshigan Emperor Joshigan, if they want to have him kind of like he was in the movie, then they'd probably have to give him a team as well, and that might be difficult because now they're bringing in 4 or 5 new characters, which is going to be tough,
Yeah, they've got a lot to set up with her conflict with Joshigan and so much in one movie.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why I think to Matu's point about, that this being maybe too much, two arcs is going to be too much. I think one of the things is that Motorball arc, if they go through it, it's going to really take some real, I guess, how would you say, talent as a screenwriter for them to pull that off, and it is in such a way that it doesn't bore the audience, And now it's kind of like Angela says, I mean, I trust Cameron can do this, I mean, he certainly did it with Avatar 2, now I've heard that there were, because I saw Avatar 2 as well, and I heard some critics say there were places where it was kind of dragging a little bit, but I didn't get that feeling. I just thought it was a great movie, and I really enjoyed it, so, but anyway, I would like to see them, kind of follow the manga on this, and then have Alita and Joshigan, and bring Jai Courtney back too for it, by the way, do the arm wrestling thing, because it would be the coolest thing ever to see a buffed up Jai Courtney, I mean, because he can lift weights like anybody else and get buffed up, and then him and Alita sit down at that table, like at that little restaurant or whatever that place was, and then them just going at it, arm wrestling. That would be the coolest thing to see, little bitty 5'3" Rosa arm wrestling 6 foot or 6'1" Jai Courtney, with a buffed up, type thing. That would be the neatest thing ever, And then of course, eventually they get to the match where they fight the match, they go through the whole thing. Now, how they do that, I mean, if they don't want to introduce a team, it could be a one-on-one thing or something like that. They could do that, I guess.
Kind of becomes a one-on-one thing anyway. The teammates help out a bit, and it's quite cute.
Yeah, it does.
So, but most of it's is her sparring with Joshigan. Yeah,
that's right. So but anyway, it's it's kind of a one-on-one thing like that, and then of course with the battle here, she loses the battle. I mean, Joshigan wins. He does, but he
Where's
dies.
the spoilers warning, man?
Yeah. Well, most of the people on this stream have probably read at least this far in the manga.
I've read this far.
Yeah. But you know, I want to see them transform him like they did in the manga. You know, he's looks like he's about to go down, then all of a sudden, just one big, how would you say in Dragon Ball Z, Kamehameha,
Yeah,
you know,
Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan type thing, you know, and then defeats Alita, you know, and then he dies right after that. I kind of want to see that, you know, or if he doesn't die, at least he gets to the point where he's, you know, an invalid or something like that, but he doesn't, you know, he can't enjoy the fruits of his victory, you know. I mean, so that's kind of how I'd like to see it. So anyway, what are you guys' thoughts? How would you like to see this Motorball thing go down like this? Well, I'll ask Batu. What do you think, Batu?
I think so. I really like your vision. I'm not sure about the Kamehameha, but maybe I would see something like, you know, in the manga, I don't know who read it and who didn't, but this is not really a spoiler. At the moment Jashodan gives his last hit, it's like he's kind of rebirthed from the earth and he looks like a human. So maybe we could see some, you know, kind of not montage, but superposition of a human Jashogan and a cyborg Jashogan hitting Alita, showing like this is kind of him getting, you know, I don't know how to phrase it in English, but, you know, a parallel between his human self and his cyborg self, showing that it is the strength that he's using to beat Alita.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. What do you think, Lee?
Sorry, I was only paying half attention there.
Oh, that's okay.
But what was it?
How would you like to see this whole Motorball arc come to a conclusion like this?
Oh, good Lord. I've actually thought about that a bit. I can't really decide on one thing. I mean, having her go up against Jashogan, obviously. The specifics of it besides that, I can't really say one way or the other. I mean, one idea, I think Maxi's fanfic that does a better job of following, you know, the events after the movie, or outlining what could be events following the movie, I should say. Probably does a pretty good job of showing one possibility that Nova's got agents on the ground who basically turn Jashogan into, you know, Emperor Jashogan, supercharging him, but giving him, you know, some sort of a cost to the boost they give him. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, he's got an illness that's terminal, so you know, and he's only got a very short time to live, and he wants to go out, you know, on top. You know, he wants to go out the winner.
That's the thing. In the manga, he wanted it just for the glory to be, you know, the ultimate, the last warrior standing that nobody else could beat.
Yeah.
In the movie, though, they could give him a somewhat different, or at least an additional goal or motivation aside from just that, which is his sister would be, since he's the one who's got the terminal illness and he's going to be dying soon, it could be that he wants to get her into Zalem so she'll have a better life. So she would be the one taking his place when he wins Final Champion.
And then maybe after he beats Alita, he's maybe in a wheelchair or something, or none of his cyborg systems will operate or something like that.
Maybe, but it could also be that just like in the manga, he does, he does win just like in the manga, but he dies in the process of doing so. But maybe the factory is, I guess, considerate enough to honor some sort of last wish that he's got, that his sister takes his place if he wins Final Champion.
I could see that. Yeah. What do you think, Chaos or Vladi? What do you have any thoughts about this?
I just want them to include like the very end, when she has that vision sort of thing, a vision into her past.
Yeah. Okay.
That happens right at the end, right?
Yeah.
As long as they keep that in, I think that would be cool.
Man, I like it. Well, we're going to come up to this, but I like it when she wakes up. She wakes up in Ito's clinic. And she was. It's almost like she was thankful that she, went up against him because I think what was the word she said, that he showed her his true power or something like that, and she really loved that. She was so grateful for it, and stuff like that. So
I think it was it showed her the possibilities of what she herself could aspire to be.
That's right. Yes. This is within my potential as well. Absolutely. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Chaos. Any thoughts? He may have stepped away.
I think I'd have to agree. Go back to something that Dizzy touched upon, and like it's one of those. As long as they capture the essence of the duel.
Yeah.
However they portray it in the actual scene itself, whether it be within the confines of a Motorball match, or again because they foreshadow a lot in the movie.
Yeah.
Like before she jumped through the screen and onto the pipes to get to the church, she was in a bit of a standoff versus the other players.
Yeah.
And that's similar to, the standoff that she's having with Joshua Gunn on screen now.
Yeah.
So as long as they have captured that essence, and they could do so by having at least like a split-second version of this on screen, then they really can't go wrong.
How about it there, Mike Hunt? What's your thoughts about?
You can just give me 2-3 hours of the arm wrestle, and I'll be stoked with that.
Yeah, I want to see that so bad. That's right.
Yeah, that's my input.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so after she loses to Joshigan, of course, Ito puts her back together, and she's the way I see it, the way I would like to see it. Although, like I say, I'm kind of a mind of like what Dizzy said. They put anything up there, I'm going to watch it. So, but I guess he puts her back together because Joshigan has really damaged her body quite a bit, the Motorball body. And she goes back to being her single girl type thing, and at this point she may not be in Motorball that much longer. I mean, I think there was something in the manga where Ajikutty got on her and said, you're not one of us because we take something to this effect. We take Motorball seriously. This is for us, it's like I don't know how to say it, maybe a creed or something like that. But this is who we are as people or human beings, and to you, this is just a means to an end or something like that. But she probably does still keep playing, and lo and behold, she's playing. She's on TV, and Zapan sees her, and of course, it kind of makes him go sideways. It flicks a switch in his brain, and then he just kind of loses it, and he kills Sarah by accident. And now he blames Alita for it. And now we got the beginning of the Zerkerpan arc. And of course, when that happens, of course, there's some steps that's got to take place in there. And admittedly, if they put the Zerkerpan arc in there, they're going to have to cut some of the stuff out, because there was a pretty good long story about how Zapan becomes Zerkerpan, because I mean, Nova's got to get involved in this, and we'll see Eli perhaps, and maybe this is their opportunity to do it, And of course, they put Zapan's brain in the Zerker body, and of course he goes nuts. He destroys half of Iron City, And of course, how they work that in terms of how Alita takes him on. In the manga, the fans are kind of scared and they blame Alita, and of course Alita says, "Well, what the hell? I'm going to go get this guy," And they have, as we had in the manga reading here a couple of weeks ago, that she beats Zapan, or Zerkerpan with the collapsor rounds, I guess. And he almost kills her because she's missing half her body and all that kind of stuff, and missing an arm, kind of like she was in the movie. And Zerkerpan, and anyway, the collapsor round actually kills all the nanites in him, and he just dies, kind of thing. And she's on the ground there, and she kind of sees that little flower, and then eventually, after all that happens, and then we begin the Badlands arc. They're not going to go deep into it. They could just have a segment right at the end where she wakes up in this room where the yellow door is. And it's like, what the hell? Where am I? Type thing,
Yeah.
And, it starts like that, and then, of course, we know she's going to be in the Badlands. We know she wants to find Nova, and that could be the end of the second movie. So anyway, what do you guys take on that? I mean, certainly there's that's going to be a major part of the movie. I kind of went through it fast there, but certainly Zapan seeing Alita play Motorball is going to be a pivotal moment. That's going to be a trigger. And of course, now they got to introduce another character, perhaps, as Sarah. And of course, I think they could do that pretty easily, because that's going to be McTeague's daughter. And then of course, then we just go right into the fight, eventually. So anyway, what do you guys think? How are they going to pull that off? How are they going to get from point A, where Zapan sees Alita, and point B, where he's now in the Berserker body? I guess anybody.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you've got with everything that happened in the manga, you've got a lot of space to let things form, and with the movie, you're going to have to cram it all in
or cut it out.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. What do you think, Matu?
Sorry, I was looking for my tab. I like the way you thought about it, and about how we can make the transition for Zapan getting the Berserker body. Maybe we can, we can have some kind of, his mental breakdown. Like you have a shot with Alita doing the Motorball, and then the same shot is displayed on the TV in front of Zapan, who is having a mental breakdown. And you can see him starting to have a mental breakdown, and then it would cut back to Alita living his life. So it's kind of foreshadowing. And at some point, you can see him coming back at the end or already with the Berserker body. And as he is walking on the city with his body and destroying, you could have some kind of flashback of Nova talking to him and giving him the Berserker body. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
So this is maybe the way I would see it.
What about you, Vladi? What do you think?
Well, as you know, I haven't read this far, so it's hard for me to comment exactly how they're going to handle it.
Okay.
But it's just going to be great to see them go for round 2. Was it round 3, 4? What round are they on now?
Well, it would be round 3, I think, because she kicked his ass in the Kansas bar, then she sliced his face off at round 2, and now she's going to get him in round 3.
Oh yeah. It's going to be great.
Angelus, I mean, I know you've read the manga as well. So what's your thoughts on this?
If they were to cut back on the amount of characters introduced if they had to cut back on time because they wanted a two-parter of sorts in the context of Motorball in the first part half, and then Zerkapan in the second.
Okay.
They could have the whole, Alita humiliated me twice, and use that as the what they call the story hook to bring Nova into the physically into the picture, and then have him well, I'm going to just throw a pebble into the pond, which is the berserker body, or giving the berserker body to Zapan, and seeing how karma plays out, because karma has fucked Zapan twice now, both from the same source. So what if the playing field was leveled, and have this berserker body I have lying around from when they tried to infiltrate so many years ago, and have it that way.
Yeah, I could see them doing something to shorten things up, where Nova, has Zapan go steal the berserker body. He tells him, if you get that berserker body, I will integrate you into that berserker body, and you can go kill Alita, with that berserker body, and then it could cut out that whole part where, I guess, Ito gets put in the box, and, they go to that lab where Nova is and that kind of thing. Now, if they do that, they're going to be cutting out Eli for sure, but they could do a lot like that, just where now Zapan breaks into the clinic and he goes steals a berserker body and takes it back to Nova, and Nova, incorporates him into the berserker body. They could do it that way. That'd be a pretty big departure from the manga, but it would still be in the same spirit of the manga, because still Nova is still putting Zapan's brain into the berserker body. So I think that part would be okay.
Sorry. Also, I guess one final, at least for this particular slide, is that this is a section of the story where, like, outside of the manga, there's literally no other source material or adaptation, I should say, in existence. So pretty much after the Motorball arc, it's all new ground when it comes to adaptations, anime or otherwise, sort of thing. Even the anime doesn't go that far past it.
Yeah.
And again, like, I keep on saying it, but and I'll say it again. I want to see, like, you could say it's like similar to the Snyder and Aircut sort of thing, in the context where, I want to see what Cameron had in store. Like, he did such a good job on the first one, clearly, that, like, I can only think of what Dizzy said earlier. It's like, I want to see more. I want to find out more. I want to see what they had in store, and fucking want to get my hands around Bob Iger. Turn into Super Bloody. Who cares about being Super Saiyan? I want to be Super Bloody.
Super Bloody. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, so like, because this is treading new ground, to sum up, like, literally the only vision that you have to go on is, fortunately for us, the vision that we would trust the most.
Yes.
Like, we wouldn't trust anyone in any studio, let alone Disney studio, to be honest.
Yeah.
The only people we would trust is Cameron, is Leda Calligridis, is Rodro, and yeah.
See, one of my thoughts about this too is about relaying or relating the Zerkapan arc in the Joshigan or the Motorball arc, is that Joshigan actually beats Alita. He actually does, you know, and then he dies, of course, but he does beat her. So that kind of lends a little bit of a, you know, kind of a tenseness or a little bit of a mystery when she fights Zerkapan, and Zerkapan damn near kills her, you know, as you can see there on that third panel there, or the, you know, going from left to right. He almost kills her, and they could build that up in the movie where it just looks like Alita's going to die. You know, she is going to die. The audience accepts it. She's going to die, you know, and then all of a sudden she pulls out this collapse around and shoots him with it. And then, of course, he kind of like in the manga, he laughs. You think bullets are going to kill me? And then all of a sudden things start happening to him, you know. The collapser round has those, I guess, those little nanites in it that feed on the berserker cells, you know.
Yeah, breaks down the berserker cells.
Yeah, that's right. And then he starts, you can see him start, you know, breaking down, kind of like that guy did in Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, when I can't remember the lady's name that stabbed him in the face. You know, he said, no man can kill me. And she pulls off her helmet and said, I am no man. And she drives that sword into his face. They could do something like that with Zapan, you know. And then, of course, she just turns over and she looks at that. They could do something like this where she looks at that little plant right there like that. And she collapses, you know. So it'd be like in reverse, you know, with when she fought Joshigan beats her. And he dies, but she beats him and she collapses, but she doesn't die, because the next thing we know is this right here, you know, at the very end of the movie. It could be like a little 5-minute, you know, kind of a transition to movie 3 anyway.
While we're on that subject, and like this is all personal preference, so there quite literally is no right or wrong answer. What would you say to a more completed? I feel like it's an oxymoron, but a more complete cliffhanger, or would you rather an end credit scene?
A more complete cliffhanger or an end credit scene?
Yeah, where, in other words, she's saying this is the end credit scene or this is the cliffhanger at the end.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should just keep it as a cliffhanger without the end credit scene. End credit scenes are pretty tacky now.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. Besides, cliffhangers hook the people in. Like the cliffhanger the first movie finished on, everybody I knew who didn't know the manga was like, oh my god, I can't wait for the sequel, because the end, like, it leads us to imagine so many things. Or a cliffhanger, leaving a ending open and with a cliffhanger is the best ending, because it hooks the people in and they anticipate the next movie so much.
Yes.
Exactly. You've got to have things to resolve in the next movie for people to get excited for.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why you need a plan, or like a source material like we've got with Alita to work from.
Well, what do you think, Lee?
Thousands of pages of notes.
Yes. Yes. Well, what do you think, Lee? Should we have a cliffhanger or end credit scene?
I'm going to go with cliffhanger, because we're going to have another movie after that. So it'll just get right into it anyway.
You've got to have a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. The only thing I would have liked to have seen in Alita 1 as the cliffhanger is that little video they had of the cyber dog, you know, because I think a lot of people, from what I did see some tweets about them, why'd they kill the dog, you know? Okay. Why did they kill the dog? I mean, come on, that's in the anime, you know. But anyway, you know, but it's okay, you know. But you know, that it would have been neat for people, the audience, if they'd have seen that in a post-credit scene with a little dog jumps out of the box and he runs along the ground. They'd say, "Oh, they didn't kill the dog," you know, something like that, you know, because I think that might have hurt the movie a little bit, you know. But
slightly. Yeah, they could have done, but it has such a beautiful ending. I feel like that would have lowered the tone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm conflicted about it for sure.
I bet that's the decision they came to, and they were like, "Oh no, it's such a perfect ending. We can't end that one."
Well, the thing of it is too is Marvel does all those cliffhangers, and once again, I love Marvel movies, but I tell you the truth, I'm kind of burned out.
Well, they like introduce stuff in end credit sequences, and then they just never appear again in future movies or anything.
Yeah,
so I mean, they're like, it's just a complete mess. We don't need that in Alita.
No.
Well, the only reason
this character's going to come up from the manga that people have heard of, and then Disney will be like, "Oh, it didn't test well with audiences," and then they never show up. We don't want stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, the only reason why I brought it up is because the end credit scenes were, they were popularized by Marvel, but it existed for decades prior.
Yeah.
Like the earliest end credit scene I remember is one of my personal favorites in what's Matthew Broderick's movie way back when? Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's like the first one that I remember seeing, and it's like I said, but Marvel like popularized it in more recent times, and it then became their cliffhanger of sorts or hooks.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I brought it up is to more or less help differentiate between that and a cliffhanger, because even I agree with pretty much everyone else here. The way that Cameron did the first cliffhanger, it did hook in people, both Alita Army material and casual fan alike.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many times is like I just finished watching Alita, or I just rewatched Alita. Casual fans saying that they rewatched Alita after so many years and thinking it's like, where is the sequel? I wish they'd make a sequel. Like bloody hell, you're getting casual fans turning into mini Vladdies running around. So.
There should be. Everyone should be furious.
Yes.
Hope we still don't have a sequel.
Yeah, it's a damn crime we don't have a sequel, but yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're all of the same mind here. If we do the Badlands arc, now if they only did the Motorball arc, in the second movie, that they would need some kind of cliffhanger at the end of that, and that could be this scene right here. That could be this one. Not the one where he kills Sarah, but the one where he sees her right here, and he, you can see they can cut away from it. After that, you see he's going nuts. You can see he's starting to go nuts right there. They could do that if they only wanted to put the Motorball arc, is the only arc, the only major arc in the movie anyway. Okay, guys. Well, did we miss anything?
Not that I'm really aware of.
Yeah, I think we went over like all the stuff they're probably going to cover.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, seemed to cover it all pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll at least get a Motorball arc for sure. I think Matthew may have kind of convinced me a little bit that putting two major arcs in the movie, unless you make it over 3 hours, it's going to be hard
squeeze.
to do that. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. And although an avid fan like myself would sit there and watch it, and just sit there with my eyes wide open, the average audience is going to say, God almighty, there's a lot in this, something like that, and it might be a little overwhelming, I think, for some folks, perhaps.
It's not much of a problem for the second movie, though.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's not exactly.
Because the character already, you've been introduced to it, and then you can just relax into her story. It's kind of like how Avatar 2 worked for me.
Yeah.
Because you knew Neytiri, you knew Jake Sully, and then they were just going on this adventure, and you were just like going along with them. And I thought it worked really well, actually.
Yes, I did too. I thought it was great.
I think they'll get a similar sort of thing going with the sequel for Alita.
I sure hope so.
I'd like to I'll take over the ending of the stream for a little bit.
You bet.
And end this on well, try to end it on a bit of a happy note. But as a bit of a last words sort of thing, I'd love to hear everyone's opinions on something. Like you might have more than one idea just pop into your head. So if you do, just choose one at random if you have to. But what is one thing that you would love to see in the sequel that will most likely not make it into the final cut? And I'll start off first. And it's going to be really, really stupid. But I would love to see, whether it be a little kid or, you know, a grown adult, cough, cough, is someone playing with a Hot Toys Alita.
That's so random.
Yeah, it is actually.
So
Yeah,
what's
but why
one
not?
thing?
Because Alita will be a big celebrity, so they might have action figures.
Yeah,
Oh God, Yeah,
that's
you
right. They
actually
might. Yeah,
right.
because she is a celebrity. That's right.
Why wouldn't they?
She's-
Hot Toys Alita is going to be in the movie. She's going to be
Yeah.
credited. She's going to go down in the credits. Hot Toys
Oh,
Alita
great.
as herself.
You just turned my
Herself. Yeah.
stupid,
Yeah.
you just turned my stupid idea into something that's semi-feasible.
Me and Alex can go down and be like her manager there.
Yeah.
On the set.
But so yeah, like whether it's something that's really silly or something that could actually happen, like what I just discovered. What's one thing that you would love to see that might most likely will not make it?
Okay, I would love, like, I don't know. It's hard to know what they might put anything in. That's the thing. I would like to have like extended sequences of Alita just like playing a musical instrument. Like, I want the harmonica sequence to be like 5 minutes plus long, but I reckon they won't have the balls to do that. Just extended sequences like that of them just like with close-up shots of all the beautiful CGI of her body and like her face and all the emotion as she's playing music. I just want stuff like that, but that would need like a 5-hour streaming cut. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
unfortunately,
could-
that would also cut into, you know, the actual story of the movie.
Yeah.
like I said, it doesn't matter so much. We're just going along with the with
It'd
the
be
vibe.
great
you know?
though.
Yeah.
It would be.
It'll still be good Blu-ray special features,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I was
it
going to
would.
say an Alita Army reference, but I thought, you know, they might actually put something like that in there. So
Yeah.
well,
Maybe in one of the stadium scenes, there's a banner in the background with
exactly,
the Army
yeah,
on it.
something simple like that, like easily.
Yeah.
put.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe even something bigger.
well, I just mentioned Hot Toys Alita when someone mentioned, you know, she's a celebrity and there could be celebrity merch. So
Yeah.
who knows? It could very well be just like
Exactly, the same kind of fandom.
a bit of
We'll
a
be in the
nod or-
stadium, like saying to Alita, "Here, rip my arms off, Alita. Have take them."
No, I have no
Crazy
doubt that.
fans.
Yeah, I love that. Whether it be a banner or like one of those electronic displays, like, and just have hashtag Alita Army just briefly chorus for like 2-3 seconds.
Maybe
Well,
without
I
the
think-
hashtag.
I think it'd be more organic if it was a banner. You know, maybe two guys holding it up in the crowd. You know,
Yeah,
the
I think it
Army.
would be a sign like that.
I think it would be better if they did that. So
They won't put the hashtag in, surely, because that just doesn't make sense in the universe.
no, well, not 500 years in the future. They'd probably
No.
hashtag
Like, what the fuck's this hashtag?
540 years in the future.
That's true.
Mm.
But anyone else? Lee, Mattel,
I'm
Creaky.
afraid my
even?
mind is kind of blanking on that.
It's hard
I'd,
when you put on the spot.
I'd love to see the tuned, but that will not be right now.
Mm.
Well, what I'd like to see is I think it would behoove Cameron to go read Maxie and Lee's fanfics, you know, read them and I know this is not going to happen, but I would really like to see a couple of things that won't be that. Well, I think one of them could be in there, but I would like to see Lee's character Jason in there. It'd be a bit part because they couldn't go into the detail that Lee had in his fanfic, but I'd like to see a person Jason, at least show a shot, of a guy in a wheelchair and stuff like that. And also, but I think they might do this. I also want to see Tilly Lockey in there, but I think they might do that.
Yeah. They've got to do that.
Yeah, they got to do that. Yeah.
It just makes no sense. Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah. It could just be a simple shot. Lita's coming out of the clinic. Yeah, she just went over.
It would be such a marketing waste if they didn't do that.
No, well, she'd be one of Ito's patients.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Alita, she lives in her own apartment, but she goes to visit Ito, and as she's walking out, she maybe holds the door open or something, and Tilly walks in or something like that. It could be that simple, or they could give her a little bit more time, but that would be cool. But I think there's a good chance they'll do that. So,
well, the ideas, like I wanted it to be like out there but not controversial, and some of you guys came up with some incredible doozies. So thanks very much for that. But yeah, she loves her Uncle Creek.
Yeah, she does. Yep, Alita loves her Uncle Creek, and if you don't like that, there's that plasma weapon you can deal with. And here's our queen right here, Rosa, and Rosa certainly did a great job on Alita, man, and she was great in A Million Miles Away too. God Almighty,
so good.
I fell in love with her in that movie. And I fell in love with her with Alita too. But God, she's a great actress, man.
Yeah, that was a gift, that movie.
Yeah. And of course, as you heard me say a while ago, I want them to bring Screwhead back. I want her to be on Alita's team of Motorball players. And Elle Lamont and Jessie Fisher are really good at what they do. Elle's a good actress, and Jessie's a great stunt person. And they're all three of these are really good at what they do, and as I say every week, it sure don't hurt that they're pretty, because they are, and they're very accomplished at what they do. They're professionals, I think we really, really are fortunate that we got people of this caliber playing Alita in Alita Battle Angel. That was just superb, so I think that was a good thing for us as the Alita Army. So. And of course, Rosa's #1 in Creek's book. That's for sure in terms of being an actress, Okay, well, tomorrow on Radio Chaos, Angelus here. Who's going to be the host? I say that every week, but I should go read the show notes, I guess. But I think Maxie was last week, so it might be you. I don't know. So do you want to talk to this, or you want me to?
Oh, gee, what? I have I'll definitely be there 100% like I was today, because I've literally got no interruptions, and I got like a 5-day long weekend, so to speak.
Oh, nice.
I picked up 2 overtime shifts, so I'm basically, should be getting a pretty fat paycheck at the end of the rotation. But
that's always good.
Means more Alita merch.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
But yeah, so I'll definitely be there. But I have a sneaking suspicion that Maxie might still be hosting.
Okay.
Now, if for whatever reason, whether it be wifed, he needs his 1% cybernetics maintained, who knows?
Yeah.
I'll still be 100% available to step in as host, but like I said, I have a feeling that he's hosting, so I haven't really, I guess, thought about or enough to have like a bit of a prelude to what to expect.
Yeah.
I don't think I can make it tomorrow, by the way. I've got some family stuff.
No, bloody. Your opinion is probably one of the ones that we really want to hear about the most.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
You can just put me in an AI generator, come up with a Disney rant.
Oh, that would be easy. Yeah, AI voice with Vladi and just AI video up there and just type into the AI, just type in say something bad about Disney.
Vladi rants about Disney and Bob Iger being shit.
Okay, well, anyway, join us on Radio Chaos tomorrow. It's going to be a good stream, whether Angelus or Maxie hosts it. It's going to be a good one. Of course, I'll be the stream manager or producer or whatever you want to call me, General Flunky, I guess. Okay, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it and I am running the stream. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I am only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. And that just leaves one last thing to do, and that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film
sequels,
baby. And we will see you next week on the Alita live stream, and we'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.